Baby Blue Eyes by Anna Swansey. Why does it feel like I've been pregnant forever? 9 months is far too long, and over a week past my due date just feels like torture. Jordan Joseph was due October 22nd, 2020, but here I am, October 30th, still without a baby. I was supposed to be induced yesterday, but of course, the hospital called me at 9 p.m. to tell me they didn't have any availability and I'd have to wait another day. This wait is torture. Finally, at 8:45 p.m., as I'm laying in bed eating my buffalo chicken wings from Applebee's, which was my biggest pregnancy craving, my phone rings. "Can you come in right now? We have an opening for your induction." Well, it's not like I can sleep anyway. Zach and I grab our hospital bags and practically run to the car in the snow. We are so ready to have this baby. Of course, I spend the car ride sending texts to family, letting them know what's going on as everyone rushes to my parents' house so they can be together as they wait for the "baby is here" phone call. My sister-in-law even drove the 4 hours from New York just to be with everybody. It's a huge deal to have the first grandchild, the first nephew. We pull up to the hospital, park in the first spot we see, and race to the doors. It is past 9 p.m. at this point, so it's freezing cold and dark out. We check in, and they quickly get us set up in this huge room with a fridge, microwave, and huge television. The nurse comes in, and we spend some time talking about our dogs until I am brought into this tiny room to be induced. Then they send me back to my room in pain. I knew having a baby would be painful, but I didn't realize that the hardest part would be being induced. Around 4 a.m. on October 31st, just about 5 hours after being induced, I call the nurse in as tears are streaming down my face. I tell her that I'm in so much pain and need to see a doctor. She looks at me as if she doesn't believe me and says sweetly, "Honey, inductions can take 24 to 48 hours. I'll give you some pain medication so you can sleep." About 30 minutes go by, maybe an hour, and I have to call the nurse back in. I tell her how badly it hurts, so she agrees to finally send in the doctor. Within 10 minutes, I'm on my way to the delivery room. As soon as they get me into this tiny room, they offer me an epidural, which of course I take because there's no way I can do this without one. Next thing I know, I feel a burst, and I let the nurse know that I think my water just broke. Though it's a different nurse from the last one, she still doesn't seem to believe anything I say. So when I say I think my water broke, she tells me, "Sweetie, you can't feel down there because of the epidural. You probably just went to the bathroom." I tell her, I don't think so, so she agrees to check. "Oh my God, your water broke." I hear Zach laughing next to me, but after changing, I fall right to sleep and end up sleeping until around 3 p.m. Next thing I know, it's time to push. I thought there would be more people in the room. Movies make it seem like you're in a room full of people and everyone's doing a million things, but instead it was just my nurse, Zach, and me. Even my doctor didn't come in until about an hour after I had started pushing. There were even points where my nurse was too busy watching the movie that was on to remind me to push, but luckily I had been watching the screen where I could see my contractions. After 2 hours that had felt like forever, there he is. Suddenly, there's crying. A lot of crying. I'm honestly not sure who was crying more, me or the baby, but probably me because Zach and my nurse had insisted that we watch a horror movie since it was Halloween. As I look over, the nurse hands this tiny little thing straight to me. Immediately, his tears stop. The world stopped. The nurse calls out, 6:01 p.m., that's going on the birth certificate. It's strange enough having a baby on Halloween, but Halloween while it's snowing and there's a blue moon in the sky seems like something from a movie. As I look down, those baby blue eyes look straight into my soul, and I fall in love.